Meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Southgate's mission statement is Learning for Life, and the vision statement is Southgate Community Schools, the best choice for students and parents. That brings us to the agenda. Do I have a motion for the agenda?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a revision to that agenda.
Okay.
Let's see. So I'd like to amend the proposed agenda. Please add approval of the amended superintendent contract as negotiated. So that would be, where would we add that?
Number 3. Okay, so I have a third
Yes.
action item added to the agenda. Do I have support for the amended agenda?
Support.
Supported by Mr. Green. Okay, so motion by Mr. Estheimer and supported by Mr. Green. Any discussion on the revised agenda? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have an agenda. And the first item on that agenda is our presentations. Item number 1, the Southgate Anderson Marching Band and Color Guard.
Yes, thank you. Each year, several of our teams in Southgate Community Schools show incredible performance, incredible effort, and do outstanding things during their seasons. And we often recognize them by making sure that their team is listed on a banner in the gym, for instance, or their scores are added to a scoreboard if they've beaten records or they made records for our teams. And I want to make sure that as we do this, we do 2 things for our students. One, we recognize them formally at the board level when they get that honor and they find their way on that board or in that gym. And I also want to make sure that our band and our marching band and our color guard are also part of this tradition. And so today we do have a banner that will go up in the band room for the performance of our Southgate marching band and color guard. And so we are here this evening to honor them and award this to them. And we're going to start by having Mr. Novicki come up, and he's going to talk a little bit about the season that our Southgate marching band and winter color guard had, which was a banner year. And then we're going to ask each of the students to come up, our band members say their names, and then we're going to take a picture with their new banner for their band room. So I'll go ahead and like to introduce Mr. Novicki.
Hey everyone, my name's Zach Novicki. I'm the Associate Director of Bands here, and I oversee the marching band. I've seen a lot of videos of people giving speeches at board meetings, and I'm sorry I'm not going to be as theatrical as some of the ones you might see online. First, I want to thank everybody here just for giving the opportunity for our kids to kind of have a light shined on them over their efforts. I'd like to really add that asking to sit down, Ms. Irvine asking to sit down Mr. Walter, myself, our booster president, Martha Hancock, and just saying, tell me about your program was one of the biggest things to us personally when you first got here. I feel like we can do our jobs better when we feel supported, and we are really appreciative for that. I went to high school in Woodhaven, and we hated Southgate competitively. We would master a competitive show with really difficult music and marching, and then Southgate would come on right after us. Mr. Komet would lead them onto the field, and they would just kind of like completely blow us out of the water. They would play harder music, harder visual responsibilities. One year they did things on crazy teeter-totters, and if you would have told me back then that one day I would be helping kind of carry on some of the traditions that Mr. Komet started here, I would kind of be mind-blown. And I think that kind of sums up a lot of this last season was mind-blowing. Just like you guys, we had so many challenges this year that were created by the pandemic. We were expected to have answers to every question and usually we didn't actually have them. We kind of had to plan on the fly for the unknown. Plan A became Plan B, became Plan C. Eventually, we ran out of letters in the alphabet before we even got to band camp. This year, we decided to hold band camp at home rather than travel away because of the pandemic. And it was really scary for us because there were just, like I said, a lot of unknowns. And it ended up being an incredible experience. We were still able to have almost all the traditions that we have at camp, we were able to make happen here at the high school. And one thing that was just incredibly beneficial from a competitive standpoint is we got to have time in our new stadium on the new field. Getting to teach the show in a similar stadium that our kids compete on was just incredibly advantageous to them. And it was just awesome. One thing that was new this year, speaking of unknowns, was we got to hold our first competition here in many, many, many years, since I believe before Mr. Komet was even here. Every single band director that came here just sent glowing reviews over our facilities and our hospitality, and they all plan on coming back, every single one of them, next season, so long as homecoming doesn't fall on that Saturday. So that's something that we are just incredibly happy about and excited about. And we just want to thank you for your support, because it's been huge for us this last season, and we're excited to build on it for the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now I'd like to invite our band members and color guard members to come on up. Okay, as you come to the mic, let us know your name, your year, and then as soon as you're done, you'll go ahead to the other side, and we'll wait until everyone has done that, and then we'll get our picture.
And just watch your step.
Okay. Hi, I'm Emily Parkham. I am a sophomore, and I am a drum major.
Hi, I'm Megan Knott. I am a sophomore, and I'm in color guard.
Hi, my name is Austin Calloway. I'm a senior and I'm in the drum line.
Hello, I am Hazel Hurst. I am a senior and I play the flute.
Hi, my name is Madison. I'm a freshman, and I play the clarinet.
Hi, my name's Nora. I'm a senior, and I play trumpet.
Hi, my name is Amber. I'm a freshman and I play the flute.
Hi, my name is Ava and I'm 8th grade and I play the color guard.
Hi, my name is Nathan. I am a senior and I play trumpet.
Hi, my name's Landon and I'm in 8th grade and I play the tenor saxophone.
Hi, I'm Caleb Frank. I'm in 7th grade, and I'm in the front ensemble.
I'm Jasmine Nestor. I'm a senior, and I'm in color guard.
My name's Brooke. I'm a senior, and I'm in the color guard.
My name's Emma. I'm in 11th grade, and I'm in color guard. Hi, I'm Allie Johnson, and I'm in the color guard.
Hi, my name is Maisie Urbanik. I'm a freshman and I'm in drumline.
Hi, I'm Iona. I'm a freshman. I play baritone.
Hello, I'm Adam and I play the trombone.
I'm Monica. I'm a senior and I'm in color guard.
Hi, my name is Aubrey. I'm a sophomore and I'm in color guard.
Hi, my name is Alexandra. I'm a senior and I'm in color guard.
My name is Emma. I'm a senior and I'm in pit.
grade.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference.
Seventh, eighth grade.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. And for all of our band and color guard, if you feel free after our next presentation to head out. We do have something very special, though, that's coming up this next moment. So if you have a chance to watch our youngest students that are going to be coming up and reading as well. So I'll go ahead and jump into our next presentation. And as all of you know, it is Board Appreciation Month. Every January it is. And what strikes me is how many times as children, all of us, didn't know who our boards of education were or what a board of education did. And we didn't have opportunities maybe like we have right now. I don't know of any more tangible, real experience that children have with who their boards of education are than when new playgrounds come into elementary schools. And now suddenly, children see and feel and experience what a Board of Education does, which is provides the resources for those new playgrounds. So I have here several of our students at Grogan wrote thank you notes for our Board of Education. And I'm going to have them come up and they're going to read those out loud. And I want to say thank you to Ms. Maggiapani's class for being here, and Mr. Kennedy's class. Representatives are here. So I'm going to have you come up to the mic up here at the stage, and we have some things to read. Our first reader is Jaden Buffett.
Hello, my name is Jaden and I am second grade and I go to Grogan. And I'm going to be thanking the Board of Education for our new playground. Dear Board of Education, thank you for our new playground at Grogan. The bridge is the best one yet. I like to run on and off the bridge. This playground is the coolest playground I have ever seen. I think the slide is awesome. I just want to say thanks again for the new playground, especially the bridge. Sincerely, Jaden.
Hello, my name is Jaden. I'm going to read my thank you note. Dear Board of Education, board members, thank you for the new playgrounds. Dear Board of Education, thank you so much for the new playground. It is way better than the old one. I love the spiral ladder. I love everything about it. It is the best. The old one was rusty and it was getting boring. This one is 1,000,000% good. I love it. Yours truly, Jaden P.
Hi, my name's Kylie. I don't know.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
We knew what she meant.
Hi. Oh my goodness.
Hi, my name is Maddie. And I'm in second grade. I'm going to read my thank you note now. Dear board members,
I am thankful for the Playscape so much. It is so much fun. I love the bridge. It was scary at first, but it isn't no more. I am happy that we got new equipment. I love the swings so much and the slides. I love the way you made the colors of the Playscape. Yours truly, Maddie.
Dear Board of Education, thank you so much for the brand new playground. I really like the new bridge. It's a lot more wobbly than the old bridge. My friends and I really love the orange log rollers. We sometimes fall off the log, but our hands are still on the rope. The slides are oh so super awesome. Thank you so much. I love the new playground. Yours truly, Brooklyn.
Okay, so now it's time for the photos, if anyone has those. And then you can head on down. Thank you very much. Okay. At this time, we'd like to have the board go ahead and take a seat. We have one last section of the board appreciation month from Portland.
Anywhere we're going?
What? Yes. Okay, our next section is a small board appreciation presentation from Portland, and then we'll move into our ID testing.
This is Kylie. It says, Dear board members, thank you for the new Playscape. I love the new Playscape. My favorite part is the poll. The new Playscape is better than the old one. The old one was rusty. That's kind of a general theme, isn't it? Grogan has the best Playscape ever. Thank you so much. That's pretty cool. Thank you very much. I want to play on that bridge from what I've been hearing, too.
Okay, at this time, we'll start with our next presentation, which is about the International Baccalaureate Primary Years Program pilot right now tentatively scheduled for North Point Elementary. And part of this is our interest in seeing some programming in our school district that has a very strong elementary, robust area of academics, as well as an opportunity for some creativity in kind of the programming that we're offering and what we're making available for our families. So I have here with me Ms. McVicker. She is right now the school district's IB coordinator, and by IB coordinator is the individual who is assembling this program and the program pilot. So I'm going to have her go ahead and present this to you.
Thank you. And I'm just going to start by, if I knew I had to follow those adorable Tiny Titans, I would have never agreed to this. How do you follow that group? So what I'm here to present to you is about IB, and then we're going to get in and discuss kind of what IB could potentially look like at Southgate Community Schools. So the International Baccalaureate mission statement is the International Baccalaureate aims to develop inquiry, knowledgeable, and caring young people who help create a better and more peaceful world through intercultural understanding and respect. There's a few parts to IB. What we're focusing on is this PYP, or it's called the Primary Years Program, and it's for the little ones, typically K-5, especially in this instance. So the Primary Years Program is for students from the age of 3 to 12. Basically, the curriculum is surrounded by it's future-focused education, but it's an example of best education practice globally, responding to the challenges and opportunities facing young students in our rapidly changing world. It's very focused on learning how to take action to problems that they see in their own community and the world, and helping them understand how to do that and the resources that are out there. So at the bottom, I don't know what that is, not me. You can see that there's almost 2 million IB students in 5,400 schools in 159 countries worldwide. So it's a very global network, and teachers and students have access to resources within this network. And just to talk about the sort of expansive idea that this has is, in my one training, I had representatives there from Egypt, India, Colombia, and our presenter was out of Brazil. So it's very global, it's everywhere. So what is an IB education? An IB education, its aim is to develop this international mindedness. So this international mindedness is understanding that I have my own ideas, you have your own ideas, and together we can put our ideas together to make the best world possible. And even though yours might be different than mine, that doesn't mean it's wrong. And it's teaching students how to collaborate together. So how do they get to this, especially when we're talking about little ones, is a sustained inquiry into a range of local and global issues and ideas, reflection on students' own perspectives, their culture, their identities, multilingualism. So in this program, teaching a foreign language to the little ones is a requirement. In our program, it will be Spanish, but they have to be receiving instruction in a second language. And then the last is this global engagement and meaningful service with the community. Basically what the IB says is focus on moving beyond awareness and understanding, which we teach our students every day how to be aware and understand it, but moving towards this engagement, action, and bringing about a meaningful change. There's a varied approaches to teaching and learning. These are educationally researched approaches which guide and focus teachers and students. It's centered on this cycle of inquiry, action, and reflection. And it's creating this agency. So you can see in the middle here of this graph I have the agency. So the agency is the student, the school, the community, the parents are creating this agency of learning. It's crucial in developing active, compassionate, and lifelong learners. It prioritizes people and their relationships to build a strong learning community. And this is what you'll see in their classes. They're learning how to engage with each other, especially at our early level. They're learning how to communicate with each other to solve these problems that may be presented or to help each other learn and reflect. Then students are agents of their own learning and partners in the learning process. So the whole idea of IB is centered around this single unit where reflection is a requirement for the teachers, but also the students to reflect on their own learning. And that is exemplified in the early years as well. So the PYP, the primary years program units. So students explore 6 transdisciplinary themes of global significance, which aims to transcend traditional boundaries between subject areas. So understanding that sometimes some content is taught outside of these units is the norm, but the goal is to have this very embedded transdisciplinary thought process. So up on the slide, I have the 6 units. So for our PYP, our young students, their units are involving who we are, where we are in time and place, how we express ourselves, how the world works, how we organize ourselves, and then sharing the planet. And so those are their 6 main focuses that they're going to have throughout their learning, and it just evolves with them as they evolve. The last thing, and this is a big thing for every stage in the IB, which I'll cover later, but all IB programs end in a culminating project. They call it exhibition. So exhibition is students will complete it at the end of their primary years program. So for us, it would be 5th grade. But this is a project that they will showcase their knowledge, understanding, and skills. This is where we would invite family, community, the board to see the learning that the students have done throughout their time in IB. You can see the circle chart as well. It's a little difficult to see from back here. That yellow throws you off. But everything's focused around this agency, the action, the exhibition, and then having the students really be the ones that are inspired through this learning and then showcase that in exhibition. So it's kind of cool. They do have a second time for an exhibition when they end their next program, which is called MYP, but that's when they're older. So the benefits of a PYP education. So for schools that have transitioned to IB, so it's an existing school already, they're transitioning to the IB, these are what they've seen. They've seen numerous improvements to school climate, increased attention to social and emotional learning and the whole child, greater use of transdisciplinary instruction and teacher collaboration, overwhelming support from parents, and then a higher level of teacher engagement, student participation, and a student overall well-being. Statistically, significant improvements post-authorization. So once you're a full IB World School, they see these 5 school climate outcomes of perceived safety, caring relationships, fairness, parent involvement, and bullying. And again, the IB is focused on the language, everything changes. So you go from a classroom to a learning center, and your peers are learning with you, and you're learning these really broad things, and they're able to hone into what they feel is important and seek that out, and the teacher supporting them along the way, giving them all the skills they need in order to take that action for meaningful change. I also just want to add from the previous slide, our experience will be a little different, which I feel like is super exciting because what's nice is we're starting this. And so these students, this is all, their whole world's going to be this learning. And so we're not going to have these, second graders who are learning in a traditional way who are now 3rd graders who are IB students. They're all going to be IB students from the beginning. The last thing when it comes to just the IB world is this learner profile. So the learner profile is a little difficult to explain, but it's something you have to see. So the learner profile traits are seamlessly embedded into students and teachers' everyday practice. You can see on the right, we have the learner profile traits: reflective, balanced, principled, thinkers, communicators, risk takers, caring, open-minded, inquirers, and knowledgeable. So these are the skills we're teaching our students. They will understand that they are learning them. They will know when they're exemplifying these. You will hear them say it. It's just one of those things that when you see it, it's really powerful, because the students will understand, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be a risk taker today. That's the common language in their classroom are centered around those learner profiles. If you go to an IB school, you will see those learner profiles all over. Sometimes they're tagged on the walls, they'll have bulletin boards, they'll have examples of students being all of these things while they were in school. So it's very, it just becomes their norm. So grade levels and curriculum. So the IB is this comprehensive curriculum that requires students to demonstrate knowledge and skills through both in-class and outside assessments in their 6 academic areas. They're still learning the same things, but they're learning it within this framework of international mindfulness and understanding how to collaborate and work together. When it comes to our early years children, the little ones, they discover a lot of this through play. And so it's exemplified and they have to act it out, but they understand their learner profile traits even within their play. Students use their initiative to take responsibility and ownership of their own learning. That's that reflective practice. That's that exhibition. So this whole time they're working towards this exhibition, this showcase, and your students might be choosing an easy ones like recycling, right? So maybe they started a whole recycling program in their neighborhood that they didn't have because that's something that's really important to them. And that would be that sharing the planet, which of course little ones are very serious about. Collaborative planning and reflection is another part. So the teachers are very well trained. They plan and reflect, and that is just how they do their work, so that as they move forward, they're continuously seeking the reflection of themselves, but also the reflection of their students, and making sure that they're getting to where they need to get to with their students. Southgate's written curriculum, teaching and learning and assessment will reflect the IB philosophy as a continuum of international education that encourages both personal and academic achievement, challenging students to excel in their studies and personal development. This is really where laying the foundation of future inquirers comes from. Like I said, the little ones have these skills. We're going to teach them how to hone these skills. And when it comes to their studies and personal development, it's the rigor of it that is substantial in the IB world. So the 5 essential elements of the curriculum: understanding of concepts, of course, acquisition of knowledge, so the students really become the researchers, the inquirers of their own learning, mastering of skills, but also the development of a positive attitude. Okay, they're going to understand their place in this whole school community, and how to encourage themselves and encourage others, and then the ability to take responsible action and then reflect on that. So my recycling one is they'll be working with their teacher to understand, how do I start this program and how do I reflect when things go wrong or modify as I go on. So that's a little bit about the IB. An update on North Point PYP. This is where we're at in this process. So we have requested candidacy. Once we receive candidacy, it's a process. And I think it will take 3 to 4 years. but no longer than 5 years. You're limited at 5 years. But what we're hoping to do is build in IB and PYP slowly over the course of 3 to 4 years, so we can have our teachers truly understand and embrace the process. But we have to wait until we get to that exhibition night. Once we have a student group go through exhibition, then we can apply for full authorization, and full authorization means that you're an IB World School. In the meantime, we are an PYP candidate school. And the candidate process is understood because we're going to be developing our teachers, and then we're going to be developing our students. And by the time we get to that full authorization, that means that we're a full IB school, that every unit is overseen appropriately, and students are fully embedded into that IB process. Program evaluation is, there's certain things within the IB that are already established. This is how we're going to track our performance. Biweekly data reviews based on common assessment, weekly attendance tracking, reviewing student behavioral data, parent surveys, and then this IB program evaluation guide and self-study. This comes with the IB program. So these are things that we're going to have to set up and do every year, because once we get to that full authorization status, our program is going to participate in an ongoing process of review and development from the IB program. So at least once every 5 years, our site will have IB, people from the IB come, and we'll go through this whole accreditation process again. They'll be overlooking our teachers' units, but they'll also be going into the classroom and sitting right next to our children and saying, what are you learning? How are you showing the learner profile? And our students will be answering that. And so every year we will be doing that, because we don't want to just rely every 5 years. We want to build it into our current practice. Here's our North Point site. We'll be sharing this space with the Guidance Center. They're currently operating Head Start along with some office space. They're moving their office space so that we can move into those red areas. So on top, that small bubble, we have the cafetorium. But the bigger bubble is there are 5 classrooms there, and we're going to be taking over those 5 classrooms. It works out perfect because there's an entrance from the parking lot, as well as a double door where the yellow is. So it's going to be a fully contained school setting right there. It sort of works out quite perfectly. Updates needed, the playground, but you guys are experts in that now, so I'm not worried. And obviously we'll have to get that little spinning thing the kids were talking about, and I expect to see Mr. Green there. Paint, you'll be there. Paint and aesthetic updates to classrooms and shared spaces. Obviously, if the place is empty, we want to make sure we get it all nice when you don't have to move furniture. Flooring replacements, there's not much. There's a little bit of carpet, and then classroom, cafeteria, and office furnishings. This is our timeline. So our timeline starts in February, because February is already next week, which is crazy. So we're going to begin marketing, and I will show you a plan for that. Student recruitment, we're going to have an information night, and we're going to begin ordering furniture, because it could be until July by the time we get that. As we move forward, we'll be helping students enroll in March. We will also be recruiting teachers, posting positions, hiring staff, and then by May, we're hoping to get in and do those building updates. June, it will be a big month. So the IB they have a ton of training. They have a ton of online training, but that's slowly going away as we're exiting this COVID world in a sense. And so we will have IB training for staff, and then we're going to follow that up with the IB Teacher Academy. So they will be able to meet each other, continue their training with each other, and hopefully begin working on their first IB unit. We'll also have a family night, and then throughout the summer, we'll continue building updates, have an open house, and then potentially have an IB program start in September for K through 3. Our student recruitment, we're starting soon. We're going to do door-to-door community outreach. We have pamphlets and flyers. We're going to just put them in every mailbox we can find and talk to families. A family night, February 15th, where we will be able to get parents and have them become not IB experts, but we want them to be IB experts. We'll follow up with families who attended, we'll help them with the registration process, and then we'll move forward with teacher recruitment. The big thing when it comes to student recruitment that I just wanted to hit on is for us and the families that are going to be selecting this, we want to make sure that they have the opportunity to understand what their children are learning. So for the teachers, their newsletters and at all their communication, we would want them to have sentence starters. We want them to know what their students are engaging in. That way when they go home, they can have this discourse and understand fully how to communicate with their new little learners, because the linguistics of the IB is something that they're going to have to get used to as well. I mean, that little guy in the tie is going to go home and tell his mom how he was a risk taker and reflective today. So we want to make sure that our parents can work with that. This is the staff needed. Obviously, it's a K through 3, so we're going to need teachers for each. We're going to need a gym, music, art, and technology teacher who will, be at North Point doing pullouts for that. An administrative assistant. We're hoping to have preschool services, obviously food service, custodial. You'll have a head of school. That is what they refer to their principal as. The principal is a head of school. The IB coordinator, lunch aides, support staff, and then latchkey services, of course, at North Point as well. Startup tasks, so I sort of already touched on that. Isn't that a nice picture of North Point? It's like the perfect picture. Playground updates, paint aesthetics, technology upgrades, and then technology for our teachers and students, and then the classroom setup. So that is going to be our big startup. That's what we have the next 7-8 months to do, if it all goes well. And then this is the future of IB at Southgate Community School. So you heard me say that there are a few programs underneath this IB umbrella. Obviously, we have the primary years program. That's what I spoke to you about. As they transition out of the 5th grade, if it's a K5, some are K8, they'll be in this middle years program. The middle years program also ends in an exhibition. And then a diploma program, they call them DP students, are students that are going to be taking diploma classes as 11th and 12th graders, but this will earn them credits towards a college degree. I actually know of a student who graduated 3 years ago from a IB school, and she finished her bachelor's degree in 3 years because she already had that 1 year under her belt. So as we move forward with IB, there's a few different options we can take. Of course, we want the IB to follow these students, but we, could potentially see a school within a school. So I have our IB students at Davidson taking their classes, and then at Anderson taking their classes, and have this little IB cohort. And that's the IB. It's a lot, but in my opinion, I feel like this is the best choice for families because these students are going to be engaging in an academic and personal rigor that's next to none. Our teachers will have just a plethora of resources in this global community. And my hope is that it just re-inspires teaching and learning here in Southgate. So thank you. No problem. I guess I should leave this here.
Thank you very much for the presentations. Very appreciated by everybody up here. I know. Thank you. It takes us to the next part of the agenda, which is citizens' comments. So everybody has the opportunity. You can address the board for up to 3 minutes. Please come up to the microphone, give us your name and address, and then you'll have 3 minutes for your comments. Please direct all comments to the board as a whole, not any individual members. And then any questions or concerns you have, we'll try and have the superintendent get back with you as soon as we can. Okay, so first we have Mr. Pulowski.
There you go.
Good evening. Robert Pulowski here, and I live at 12757 Chestnut Street in Southgate. So, as we move into the rest of the year, the enrollment period is starting to roll out. And there are a lot of mixed feelings on bringing their kids to this district. What I'd like to ask our superintendent before we move into May is if we could do a poll for our middle school students and high school students to see what they enjoyed about this year. Did they enjoy the online period, or did they enjoy the in-person period more? Me personally, I enjoy the online period. I think it was a great move by the district this year, and I'd like to see it go into next year as well, especially with how much there are a lot of students that enjoyed this platform and enjoy it more than coming into a building at 7 a.m. when they're barely awake. I feel you on that. I've done it for nearly all my life, so I completely understand on that. But I really would like to ask our superintendent to put up a poll to get students' opinions, middle school and high school, going forward, especially when we move into next year. The second thing I'd like to bring up, I know this is a little bit overdue, but as we move into our new year of 2022, the pool progress is doing wonderful. Just seeing that big skyline when you drive by on McCann Street is just absolutely breathtaking, and seeing this come alive is just wonderful. I really think it could have been done with a retractable roof, especially in the summer. There are a lot of things going on with the pool during the summer, so I really think that should have been really addressed before approving on it. But I think it's a wonderful project, and I can't wait to see it unfold this year. So great job to everyone on this board that voted on this pool, and I look forward to seeing more come along, especially with our new board president, Mr. Craig. Congratulations. It was good to see, you become our president, and I know Mr. Estheimer, you've done wonderful as our president, and I look forward to seeing what you have in store for us, Mr. Craig, going forward. But as always, keep up the good work, and thank you to what you do for our district. Thank you for time and opportunity to speak.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Billy Schultz.
Good afternoon. I want to thank the board. You guys have been awesome listening to me and actually getting back to me, and some of the decisions you've made on behalf of our students here. I agree with most of them. I don't know if you guys are aware of Liliana's Law. This bill is being voted on right now as we speak. Liliana's Law is I don't know if you're familiar, is regarding a 4-year-old that was in preschool that was killed here in Michigan in Dearborn because of a lunch table that was recalled and was not pulled and collapsed on this child. So, protect our children. This law will require annual safety inspections at school. For example, basketball nets, bleachers, and lunch tables. We should, as Southgate District, should already be doing these inspections. If we are not doing these inspections currently, I would like some of the money from the ESSER program funds to be used to do this. It is not just at the high school, the middle school, but the elementaries too. The basketball nets all need to be checked yearly. There was an instance in Ohio where a basketball net fell on a student and he also passed. So I didn't realize the seriousness in Liliana's Law until it came out this past week, and you guys know I'm very involved. So after I did my investigation and looked into it, I didn't have time to ask if we have an inspection on our stuff here in Southgate, because it's not a law, it's not mandatory right now. So once this law passes, which I'm sure the Senate's, it's at the House now, so if it passes, then we will be required. But when was the last time any of our stuff here, the things behind you, when was that last inspected? You know, that could fall on students, yourselves, while you're up there. So safety is very important. Safety in our school, what are we doing to keep our classrooms safe? Taylor just rolled out last week a plan for the Bluetooth lockdown system. And what is our plans here in our district for lockdowns? Do we have a plan yet? I know I spoke at our last meeting about it. So when is a plan going to be rolled out for the safety of our classrooms here in our district? Also, OSHA just withdrew testing and vaccine mandates today, and I'm happy to hear that our district is not forcing our teachers or staff to do the testing or vaccinations. On Friday, Wayne Westland Community School, Livingston Education Service Agency, Saginaw Intermediate School District, Walled Lake School District all filed a lawsuit in the federal court against the U.S. Department of Health, challenging the federal vaccine and mask mandates for Head Start programs in their school districts. When is the public school going to join and challenge the health department in this also? One more thing. Wayne County just put out their stats for deaths, and it's quite disturbing. For Wayne County, homicides, ages under 1, there was 4. Ages 1 to 14, 12. Ages 15 to 24, 90 homicides. Suicides, ages 1 to 14, 5. Suicides, 8, and this is for 2020. Ages 15 to 24, 25 suicides. Deaths of COVID for ages of 14 to 0, 0 deaths. COVID for 15 to 24, there was 4 deaths. COVID is not killing our children. Homicide and suicides are what are killing our children. We have to start taking mental health more seriously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak tonight who did not get a chance to fill out a form? Okay. Seeing no one, we'll go ahead and we'll close the citizens' comment portion. And that moves us to the superintendent update.
I have no updates at this time. Thank you.
Okay. And is there a finance update?
No.
No finance update, okay. Brings us to the consent agenda, which consists of January 11, 2022 closed session and January 11, 2022 regular meeting minutes and HR update and the expulsion of student 23437. I'll entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, I have a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Estheimer. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, consent agenda is approved. Okay, that brings us to the first item on our action agenda, which is the approval of the bid package award for the summer 2022 renovations. Who's presenting that for us?
We have Plant Moran Cressa here to present.
Hey, good evening. My name is Gary Kent with Plant Moran Cressa, and I'm here to present the contract award recommendation for the summer 2022 renovation work, along with Granger Construction's guaranteed maximum price proposal. This summer's renovations include Allen Elementary, Shelters Elementary, and some work at Anderson High School. In this packet, we'll go over Plant Moran Cressa's award recommendation letter, the budget summary, Granger Construction's guaranteed maximum price GMP proposal, and Granger's subcontract award recommendations. On the next page, you'll see PMC's award recommendation letter. This recommendation represents mutual efforts of PMC, Granger Construction, TMP Architecture, and Southgate Community Schools Administration. On November 22nd, construction documents were issued and made available to contractors, and advertisement was placed in the local newspaper, along with the State of Michigan website. On December 20th, sealed electronic bids were received and publicly opened. Interviews were held from January 4th through January 12th. Upon completion of these meetings and subsequent clarifications, the steering committee is recommending the firms that are listed in Granger Construction's award recommendation letter dated January 20th. The total project award amount for this renovation work is $3,504,456, which on the next page you can find a breakdown of this amount. The base bid came in at $2,732,228. The alternates came in of $152,037, which included asphalt replacement at Allen and Shelters and miscellaneous areas, along with replacing additional flooring. The allowances came in at $55,830, which includes end of construction cleaning, some demolition work associated with the added alternates. The trade contractor general conditions came in at $43,500, which includes building permits, dumpsters, temporary toilets, hand washing, and sanitation sinks. CM's, GC's, staffing fee, bonds, and insurance came in at $232,434. Totaling Granger Construction summer 2022 renovation work at $3,216,029. We have a construction contingency of $288,427, and On the next page, you'll see a breakdown of that budget. So the total budget amount for hard construction for all three schools was $3,706,225. The actual hard construction amount was $2,940,095, which left us of a variance of $766,130. Construction contingency totaled budget amount of $370,623. The actual amount was $288,427, with a variance of $82,196. CM fees and costs came in at $275,934, with the total project cost budget amount $4,388,732. The actual cost was $3,504,456, with an under budget variance of $884,276. Pricing coming under budget allowed us to do that additional alternative work, and obviously a lot of districts around the area are facing a different problem, being over budget. I think being under budget was a huge win, and some of the factors that contributed to that were efforts from the project team, TMP, Granger, PMC, the district, Sharon, the principals, all walking the schools and defining a solid scope of what work was actually needed. Knowing the current market conditions led us to push contractors to bid the work, which resulted in good bid coverage and competitive pricing. And we had several items come under budget, which was a nice surprise. On the next page, you'll find Granger's summer 2022 renovation work GMP proposal, along with a breakdown at the bottom with a subtotal for each school as follows. Allen Elementary is a subtotal amount of $1,062,587. Shelters Elementary had a subtotal of $1,211,922, and Anderson High School had a subtotal of $665,575. Trade contract general conditions was at $43,500, and the total hard cost for summer 2022 work was $2,983,595. Same cost, $232,434, and the total 2022 GMP proposal was $3,216,029. On the next page, you can see Granger's current GMP along with the GMP increase request. The following pages after that break down the recommended subcontractors by trade for each school. These contractors have all been vetted out and interviewed to ensure that the accurate scope for each school was included. With that, it concludes our contract award recommendation for the summer 2022 renovation work, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that the board might have.
Any questions? Dr. Pomponio.
So in each building, is it spot areas, or is it like entire wings, or what work is that in each building?
It varies by school. It depends on the work. I mean, elementary schools are replacing a lot of the flooring in the classrooms and some lighting. High school, we're doing a couple of gang bathrooms, and we're doing some bathroom renovations at the elementary schools as well. So it's kind of spotty at all the schools, but also, I guess, a lot of work in every classroom. So.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
We will also have another recommendation for a bid package come for Ford Line. So this is for Allen, Shelters, and Anderson. And within the next board meeting or two, you'll see one for Ford Line as well.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, just, can you remind me the allowances, the 55K?
Yeah,
From
the
the initial
55K, that included end of summer cleaning. So after all the construction is done, we'll bring in a specialized crew to clean it before the students come back and after the furniture is put in, and then demo allowances as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. With that, we'll bring this item back to the board, and we'll entertain a motion.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I move to approve the bid package award for summer 2022 renovations at Allen, Shelters, and Anderson High School as presented.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Mr. Lamas. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. Takes us to the next action item, number 2, which is the approval of the creation of the MILAF Employee Terminal Pay Fund.
Yes, this is a request to open a new bank account with PFM Asset Management LLC, or MILAF, which is the Michigan Liquid Asset Fund. We would like to entitle it the Employee Terminal Pay Fund, and the account would be used to pay contractual retirement and resignation payouts, and will earn interest to help defray these costs.
Any questions for staff? I have one. So is this basically what I've been asking for, which is give us an account so that we can
Yes.
keep track of that money that we owe? It's something that contractually we've agreed to pay. We just have never saved it before, and now we're going to save it. Okay, perfect. I didn't recognize the acronyms in what I asked for, but I appreciate that. So,
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the creation of the MyLaw Employee Terminal Pay Fund as presented.
okay, I have a motion by Mr. Lamas. Support. Who was the support? Mr. Sage? Any discussion? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say something. I think this is a great move. I think this is something that we've needed to do for a long time. It's tracking this liability that we have that we've never funded. And it's great that we're doing that, and I think progressive. I don't know of a lot of other districts that are doing it, which is, again, progressive and something that I think we need to do to be fiscally responsible to the district. So I appreciate all the work that went into this. Thank you very much. And with that, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. Brings us to the added item to our agenda, which is the approval of the amended superintendent contract as negotiated. So this is, I'll go ahead and speak to this. This is an item that we've had to address. The contract was open when we created the contract with Ms. Irving, and so that was, in January, we were obligated to go ahead and fill in that contract, and we've negotiated that amendment, and that's what we have in front of us right now. So, any discussion on the item? Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry, I need a motion on that.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the amended superintendent contract as negotiated.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio and supported by Mr. Estimer. Now any discussion?
I'd just like to say one thing. This is a very intelligent decision we've made, not because we're so darn smart, but we have a heck of a superintendent who is making a difference in this district. And for all those who've lived in Southgate for some time, you know, we've seen others who haven't. Ms. Irvine is doing a fantastic job, so thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Item K on the agenda is employee representatives. Are there any employees who would like to speak tonight on any topic? Okay, seeing none. Information announcements from the board. Anybody? Dr. Pomponio?
I just want to say, in lieu of Board Recognition Month, I'd like to thank all the board members here and throughout Michigan. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mr. Support. Supported by Mr. Green. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you very much.